Hi there, it's Mike Thornton from Production Expert, and in this video we're going to test DeRoom Pro and Voicegate from Accentize that make up their restoration bundle. So let's start with DeRoom Pro. As the name suggests, it's a de-reverb plugin that's using machine learning to deal with the unwanted reverb and echo components. So let's get straight to it. Here's a clip from a radio documentary which was recorded in a large hall on location.
But during the day, it was a gymnasium for rehabilitation for the patients because progress was being made now on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor.
So for now, what we're going to do is to leave the Spectral Focus here turned off. We'll come back to that shortly. We'll set the reduction control here at 100%, and the sensitivity we're going to start with a setting of 50%. Now, as we play the audio,
but during the day, it was a gymnasium for rehabilitation.
We can increase the sensitivity.
Progress was being made now on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor. But during the day, it was a gymnasium for rehabilitation for the patients because progress was being made now on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor. But
now, of course, with all these tools, it will be a trade-off between reverb reduction and artifacts. And you may find that it helps to just adjust this gain makeup.
But during the day, it was a gymnasium.
So you can see that the meters between the input and the output line up better.
Progress was being made now on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor.
And of course, we use bypass to make sure it's all okay.
Rehabilitation for the patients because progress was being made now on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor. But during the day, it was a gymnasium for rehabilitation for
may we need to just back off the level of reduction
on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor.
Just to help with some of the artifacts.
For rehabilitation for the patients because progress was being made now on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor.
And there we have it. So let's just play it again, bypass.
But during the day, it was a gymnasium for rehabilitation for the patients because progress was being made now on industrial injuries, especially that of the minor.
Job done. The Spectral Focus option here allows us to process the audio across 3 different bands. We can adjust the crossover point between each of the bands. We can click to solo it, and of course we can also click to hear what it sounded like before. There's the bottom band. In the settings option, we've got the option between an automatic mode where this is lit up, but if we deselect that, then we can tell it what size of room it's working with. So either you can go for the automatic mode or you can focus its attention, shall we say. There's also an option for a low latency mode, but obviously, as the name implies, the full-blown version without low latency is much more precise in its processing. So again, a bit of a trade-off. If you want live sort of low latency, then you will take a bit of a hit on the audio quality. And then the last thing in the settings is the user interface size. Now we've currently got it on twice, but you can reduce it back to its normal size or double. So that's the settings. Then we've got the difference here. And this is actually now telling us we can hear what the plugin is actually getting rid of. And sometimes it can be really helpful just to listen to the difference to make sure that all you're getting rid of is things you don't want. Rather than this case, we don't want the attack of the drums to be impacted. And then finally we've got the option for bypass. Moving on to Voicegate, this plugin is designed to help you clean up your speech and vocal recordings. As with DeRoom Pro, to start with, we'll leave Spectral Focus turned off, and we'll make sure that the max reduction in the stabilization section, so we've got two sections here, stabilization and noise reduction. So in the stabilization section, we'll make sure that essentially that section is turned off by making sure the max reduction is down at 0. Then in the sensitivity, we'll make sure that's at the default of 50%, and then we can just turn the max reduction in the noise reduction down, and now we can start to play the audio. And then all we do is just increase the amount of reduction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a Bayer tie-clip mic, an MEC 10.11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And what we're getting there is just a few artifacts right at the beginning, the first time I count from 1 to 5, and then at the end here, the last little bit, there's still some rustle coming through.
An MEC 10.11.
On the 10.11. So what we can do is increase the sensitivity.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You'll notice now that we just need to adjust the gain.
An MEC 10.11.
And there we go. It's got those last
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1,
bits
2, 3, 4,
of
5.
rustle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But it was starting to pick up some of the artifacts.
Bayer.
And what I found is by just increasing this, it just smooths things out a bit.
MEC 10.11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a Bayer tie-clip mic. An MEC 10.11.
And there we go. Job done. So as with the DeRoom Pro, on the Voicegate, we also have the Spectral Focus option, so we can obviously adjust the different bands, listen to the bands. So we could then adjust the controls down here to get that last little bit of improvement. So that's Spectral Focus. On the settings, things are slightly different. We've still got the UI size 1 time or 2 times. But here on the current algorithm, we've got options for different algorithms. So at the moment I'm on default. You'll see here that I've got options for anti-wind and lavalier. And in fact, there are also other algorithms that we can download. Here there's one for anti-drums and one for inverse. Rather than leaving it on default, I'm going to switch it to anti-wind. And we're going to take a look at another audio example. Surprise, surprise, a wind noise problem. So here we have talking into a cardioid condenser mic, outside, no windshield, no low cut. Let's see what we can do with this. So we'll take the bypass off. We'll set all of these back to their defaults. And let's play the audio and wind in the maximum reduction on the noise reduction side. So you can hear already it's taking some of the wind noise out. So here we have talking into a cardioid condenser mic, outside, no windshield, no low cut. But not quite perfect yet. So let's just see what happens when we increase the sensitivity. So here we have talking into a cardioid condenser mic, outside, no windshield, no low cut. So let's try just reducing the reduction with the high sensitivity. So here we have talking into a cardioid condenser mic, outside, no windshield, no low cut. And we've now finally got that no low cut, because that no low cut, the wind is really blowing. So if I just reduce the sensitivity and just play that bit, no low cut, you can hear that the wind is just still leaking through, and it takes quite a bit, no low cut, to actually get that clean. Once you do, it's got it. So let's just play it again in bypass. So here we have talking into a cardioid condenser mic, outside, no windshield, no low cut. And what I would do, because as you probably already realized, it's not only taken the wind away, it's also taken most of the ambience, because obviously I was recording that outside. And so all I would do in this case is just to track lay a replacement clean background sound, Atmos, and that'll cover up some of the artifacts where we're hearing, if you like, the gating effect, the artificial intelligence processing, just taking everything, just dropping away to nothing, whereas it would normally have some sort of ambient sound. So by adding that ambience track, that would play very nicely. So if you want to find out more about what we think about DeRoom Pro and Voicegate from Accentize, then check out the full article on Production Expert. I'll see you again soon.